Hello everyone. So this is my project for this week with C++. And so this week's project, what I created was a numerical numerical models based off some Python code I have. So basic premise of this model is not very complicated. What it does is the job of numerically modeling a spherical projectile. Let's say we launched it from a cannon at some angle and trying to say how far away it runs. The biggest thing is I want to compare it to how I have a model in Python that does the exact same thing and compare how those two run. Biggest ones were like, how quickly can I personally code it? And focusing on how accurate and what are the pros and cons I see between using Python for numerical modeling and cons of using Python and that C++ covers and benefits from. So I already have a situation set up. I already set the initial conditions here. I'll press forward to display those conditions. We're saying the X position, we're at 0, we have an uncertainty of 5 millimeters. And those are all the initial conditions. Keep in mind, we are in meters and radians. So those are kind of the units we're working inside of. So meters, radians, kilograms, all that jazz. And so I run the simulation here, and it puts out that the range is going to be about 3.25 meters with uncertainty of 0.006 meters, 69 meters. So that's kind of I saw I have the exact same numbers from this situation that I have in my Python simulation, but there's some things I noticed that I had to set up a little differently in C++ and Python. Python overall coding it was a lot quicker. I don't have to manually set um, if they're doubles or integers. As you can see here, everything I set as a double, just due to I actually do care about precision because of the uncertainty factor in there. There's probably a couple like the constants of C and G. I probably could have set those as floats, but that's what I set up. And then as you see, we have a capital X and capital Y. Those are actually just arrays that I have set up because if we go over to the range and keep in mind, we used Euler's method for this project. And so if we use that, I had to get the average and the standard deviation from X. We did not really use much of big Y. There's ideas, but I'm kind of pushing up against a 6 hour time limit I set for this project. And so that's kind of how this project was set up. Something I really like about Python versus C++ doesn't have the extensive libraries that Python has for numerical modeling and and mathematical computational stuff. But with C++, I was realizing I can really control what if I'm using integers or doubles, and I can really control that. Versus I have frustrations with Python sometimes is where I can't control that. And so there's a sense of freedom. This program takes a couple of seconds to run because we are doing 5,000 individual tests, having random variations of all the angles, the X, Y positions, the density, the diameter, and the mass. There's all random variations in there so that there actually is an uncertainty because if any of you guys do like scientific experiments, you realize that not all your measurements fit perfectly what you initially predict. There's some uncertainty in your measurements, so that's why we have those in there. But that's a benefit is it runs a little faster because I tend to, due to the random numbers, tend to go for these larger numbers to really get a better distribution because I do have a computer and the computational power is there that I can get these really large numbers and it doesn't cost me much. And so that's something I really do like about C++ is it runs a lot quicker. The object-oriented thing, what I really like is I can run more tests a lot easier than Python, but it also does force me to be a cleaner programmer than, for example, in Python. So yeah, that's kind of this week's project. I hope you've had a wonderful rest of your day, and all right, bye.